Welcome to Backstage with Becca with special guest Hannah Jewel Kohn. Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Backstage with Becca. On this episode, she's most recently been out on the road touring with the first national tour of Disney's Frozen. She's also performed in regional shows such as Mary Poppins, The Little Mermaid, Mamma Mia, and Grease. In the past year, she's co-founded the company Bringing You Broadway and started her own meditation company called Jewel Focus. Please welcome Hannah Jewel Kohn. It's so good to see you virtually!
I know! What a new world this is.
Right? It's crazy, and I'm sure you miss performing and miss being on tour.
Oh my gosh, I miss it so much. But soon, it's in the horizon. I see it.
Yes. How have you been getting through this time?
Okay, well, I started 2 companies, so I've been pretty busy with that. I'm virtually teaching a lot. I'm teaching vocal lessons. I'm teaching dance lessons. I'm doing a ton of things that are very fulfilling during this time, which is very needed because theater was my home. It was my passion. It filled all the voids. It just was so fulfilling. It made me whole, and I needed to find something else that did that as well. So I have found things.
I'm sure when you all got the notice that the tour was being stopped, that the Frozen tour was being stopped for however long, that it was just heartbreaking, and you were like, wait, what do I do now?
Yeah, I don't think I actually got to process it until a month later because we were gonna have a show that night, and then they sat us in the theater and said, "You guys, we're going to give you your tickets to go home tonight." And I was like, "What is happening? I'm going home!" Wait, I need to get ready. It's almost our call.
I want to be on stage.
Yeah, it was just, it was bizarre. It was truly something I don't think I'll forget for a long time because it was just out of body.
Almost exactly a year ago, I think.
Honestly, yeah, I think it was March 15th, something.
Yeah.
20th? March 20th, maybe. Yeah, pretty much now. Yep. Just a year later. Wow.
And I just feel for the people who had tickets for the show that's a gorgeous show, and they haven't gotten to see it yet.
I know. Oh man, especially the people who were going to see it the night that we went home. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, hopefully soon.
It'll be back. Well, yeah. Well, how did you initially get into theater? Did you always want to be a theater performer?
Well, okay, so childhood, my great-grandma was in vaudeville, so theater, singing, dancing, acting was instilled in me when I was a baby. So I've been doing it ever since. My family loves theater, loves theater. My dad can't sing, my mom can't sing. My mom used to be a tap dancer, but that's it. That's it. Yeah, so I always knew that I wanted to be on stage. I always felt comfortable. I never had any stage fright. And I auditioned for my school musical, which was Annie. And then I ended up booking the role of Annie. And I thought to myself, I might be good at this. I don't know. I might be good. So I think that gave me a lot of confidence. Okay, I think I can do this as a career. And it kind of took off from there. I started to, take as many dance classes and vocal lessons and acting classes that I could. And I've really been working ever since. So
those songs in Annie are no joke for a kid.
I know. So it was my first lead role. I played Annie. It was awesome.
And you also have a lot of dance experience, and you're a phenomenal dancer. How did you get into dancing, and how did you work on becoming such a well-rounded performer growing up?
Well, I give all credit to my dance studio in Walled Lake, Michigan, Dance Dynamics Performing Arts Center, because not only do they have dancing at their at their studio, they have acting classes, they have vocal lessons, and they have a homeschooling program. And so I know. And so in high school, I actually transitioned from my high school into a homeschooling program at my studio. And I loved it. A lot of people, I'm trying to think of a couple of names. Well, I'll tell you in a little bit. But so many alumni who graduated from that program went off and did huge things. Broadway, film and TV, everything. And so I was like, okay, I need to go and do that because that's what I want to do when I grow up. And school is a lot to take on with everything I'm doing after. So I transitioned into a homeschooling program and it just changed my whole world. And so I was just like 7 hours of dance, 2-hour vocal lesson, acting class every single day. And I was just preparing and training constantly.
And you get to be around other people who love the arts and love theater and love dance as much as you do all day. So what's better?
100%. That was the best part. I made some of my bestest friends in that school. And yeah, I mean, it was just the best community. And the flexibility was something I'll never take for granted because especially when things do come back, you don't have that flexibility all the time. But when I was at that school, I would fly out to New York and get a little taste of the hustle and bustle of New York and auditions, and then I would come back, right? So it was really, really, really so good for me.
And they would work around your schedule and stuff.
Yep.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
When was the moment that you really realized that you can make theater a career and being on stage a career?
I never thought it wasn't possible. I think that was my thing. Like I always knew that you could do this as a career because I had a passion for the performing arts. I knew it was meant for me. I would watch Broadway shows. I would sit in the audience and I'd be tapping my mom and I would just be like, I want to be up there. 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 And she'd be like, soon, 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 soon. It's coming. It's coming. Patience. I never thought, I've always just had that mindset that anything that you really dream about can become your reality. There's not really like a block or, I know there's obstacles, of course, but I really saw something. And when I had that vision for myself, it kind of just soared.
Yeah. And you've been in a ton of regional shows and you've gotten a lot of experience. You're always showing off the dancing on stage. And I'm sure people are like, how does she do that? Like how does she keep rhythm so well?
Oh, you're so sweet.
What's been your favorite regional show that you've done?
Oh my God, there's a bunch. Favorite regional would be Mary Poppins at Papermill Playhouse. I love it at Papermill Playhouse. I also love that you get to still live in the city when you work there. Ooh. So I had like my life still intact and I was still like taking dance classes at Steps on Broadway and Broadway Dance Center, and then I would go to my show. So it was like a Broadway show. You know, you're in New York and then you go to your Broadway show at night. And the people who work at Papermill Playhouse are a dream.
What do you think is the most special part about regional theater? Because like I feel like yes, everyone aspires to get to Broadway, but regional theater is such a special thing of its own.
I totally agree. And I will go back to regional theater at some point in my life. Yeah. I think the best part for me, if I'm not speaking about Papermill Playhouse and I'm just kind of going into my other shows that I did, the community and the family that you form as a collective is just unlike anything else because you're not in New York doing a billion things during the day and then going to your show and seeing the cast then and the crew and everybody then. You are with these people all day long in a new city that you've never been before, maybe, and you're exploring and you're getting to know people and you're having cast parties and you're going out to lunch and you're doing talkbacks with like the veterans at the theater, and it's just it's such a wonderful experience. If you've never done a regional house, I encourage you to do one because you make your dearest friends there. I have made some of my bestest friends doing regional houses because also those contracts are maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. That's pretty much it, right? 3 months is probably like the end of that. And so you know that you only have that short time period together. And so you want to form these relationships and these bonds as fast as you can. And with that being said, I mean, it's one of the best experiences you could ever have as a performer.
How do rehearsal processes work when it's such a short contract and you're like kind of rushing to get the show ready? I feel like everyone protects it so well by the time it's on.
Oh my God, I know. Well, what you don't see is us like running around backstage, or us at night after an 8-hour rehearsal running and saying, okay, here's my line. Can you read with me? Let's practice the dance in the gym. Like, right? That's how it goes. I think so I'm just speaking on PCLO, Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera. I did Grease there, and we had a pre-pro session, like 6 of them. And that was so crucial for that kind of show, because we had literally 4 days to learn a whole show. I know, 4 days. And there's a lot of dancing in Grease too. And there's a lot of leads in Grease. So there's a lot of scene work, a lot of songs, a lot of dancing. And so Barry Ivan, our director choreographer, he was the one who had pre-pro for us in New York. And we would just go in and kind of get an idea of the show. We would learn choreography. Like for my hand jive dance, Zach and I learned the whole thing pretty much beforehand. Like the whole thing.
So you knew it going into rehearsals.
It definitely changed a lot. Like, I'm not going to say that I knew it perfectly when I got there, but I knew the base of it, and we kind of just like plopped things on top of that. But yeah, a lot of the dancing we already had like practice on. Yeah.
And speaking as someone who saw the show in Pittsburgh, like, I'm impressed that you all put that together in 4 days as a whole cast.
I know. Well, you know what happens is you get this like mindset and this adrenaline in your blood, and you're like, I have 4 days to learn a 2.5-hour show. Let's go.
Just all the energy drinks, staying up till like 3 a.m.
Oh my God, yes. It's like once you finish with those like opening night nervous like bubbles or butterflies, whatever you want to call it, it's like, oh, I can breathe. I made it through the first performance. Yeah.
Do you think it's just muscle memory from there pretty much? Or?
Yeah, I think you just need to trust yourself. That's it. Like, you know what you can do. And if you mess up a line, you mess up a line and you come back in, you know, like that happens all the time. People sing the wrong verse in songs. People forget lines, and you kind of just, as a team, you cover each other and you get back on track when you can.
And it's live theater. It's
gonna
be different.
Exactly. Live theater. It's always gonna be a different show.
It's the best part about going to see shows as an audience member multiple times.
Right. Because how many times did you came to Grease a lot, right?
I went to Grease 2 times, and it was different both nights.
Okay, I'm thinking about Pantages.
Yeah, and then Frozen, I worked the show and came on my off nights, and it was different every night.
Right, exactly. And there's going to be new people in the show. Understudies go on, swings go on.
Yeah.
Different.
And new kids in the audience for Frozen who react differently to everything.
Right. So true, Becca. So true.
Which I'm sure you miss. Which, speaking of which, how did you audition for Frozen, and what was your audition process like?
Okay, so I auditioned for Frozen on Broadway. What was it, like 2 years ago? 2 years ago. And they weren't really looking for anybody at the time, but they kept my information. And then months later, like 6 months later, I get an appointment from my agent saying, hey, come in for the Frozen tour. They want to see you. I'm like, okay, great, perfect. I had like kind of remembered the choreography from the audition, but like not really. But I came in, I auditioned, felt so good about the choreography. Not that I remembered it, but that it just was so natural for me. Like, you know, when you just feel good with certain styles. I felt so good dancing to the Frozen score and just the choreography and that Rob Ashford had for us. And I had about 8 callbacks after that. 8 callbacks. Would come in, sing the same thing, dance the same movement, maybe get a new dance. We had like 2 different dances we had, like a partnering dance and then the fixer-upper dance. But yeah, I came in like 8 times. My last callback was in front of 20 people. 20 people. Right, I know.
Wow.
20 people.
I was just listening to something where someone said that it's like terrifying performing in front of like 20 people, but performing in front of like more people than that, like in like a huge theater.
I know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I feel the same exact way. And yeah, it was in front of 20 people. And then about, I would say like 2 weeks later, actually, I'm going to take that back. I'm thinking about a previous show maybe. I think it was less than that. I think it might have been like 3 days with this one.
Wow.
And I was at an audition for another Papermill show that I actually booked but couldn't go because of Frozen. But I was there, and a friend of mine at the audition said she booked Frozen as a swing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. But oh no, I haven't heard yet. Oh no. I'm like, oh, I didn't get it, but it felt so right. And then I called my agency just to get an update. I was like, hey, would love an update. Any feedback you have would be greatly appreciated. And they were like, we're busy right this second, but all good news. We'll call you later. And I'm like, what does that mean, all good?
You're making you wait?
I know. So then they called me, like, because they were at college showcases, and they were, like, in the middle of watching it, and so I understand. But then they called me that night, and I was, like, so happy. I was so elated. It was the best moment. I still remember it.
I can imagine. What was your, like, where were you, and what was your exact, like, reaction?
So when they when I heard all good news, I was like, all right, well, I definitely booked something. So I secretly knew that I had booked it because I knew that I felt good in that, and I knew that it was my track. I just knew it. There was just this gut feeling. I'm like, that is my track. I feel it. But when they called me and really told me, I was in my apartment, and it was like at the end of the night, and I was like so drained from like, did I book? Did I not? Did I book? Did I not? When are they going to call?
8 callbacks.
Yeah, 8 callbacks. It was a lot. It was a journey. But I was jumping up and down. I was so excited. I was so excited. Because it was like the first national tour. I mean, it's the first national Frozen, and the country hasn't really seen this. I mean, they've seen the movies. Everyone's obsessed with Frozen. And so now we get to bring like the story to it. It's just, so excited.
To kids across the United States, they get to see the favorite characters from the movie on stage right in front of them.
Exactly.
And it's just pure magic. I'm curious about the audition process. How do they teach you the choreography going into an audition?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, how do they get the choreography to you, and how do you like go about learning it going in to audition, or do you learn it there?
That's a really good question. So most of the time, well, no, okay, let me go back. All of the time, because I was thinking about pre-pro, but that's after you book the job. When you go into an audition, it's a blank slate. Unless it's a callback, you don't know the dancing. You don't know what they want you to sing unless they tell you. If you're going in for like Wicked or something you've been in for a billion times, it's usually the same choreography. It's the same choreography. So you'll have an idea, but it might take you a moment to like get back into the movement again, get it into your brain. But for Frozen, I had no idea. I had no idea what the choreography was.
Wow, so it's like a whole dance class.
A whole dance class. And it's a fast class.
Yeah. You
have 20 minutes to learn the dance, and then you have to perform it. Like, you have to give face, you have to give details, you got to really story tell through your movement. Like, it's a whole ordeal.
So they know by the end of that rehearsal process who can pick it up, who can do it night after night. They have a pretty good idea.
Right. I mean, they give you a little leadway because, like, obviously, you know, you're not going to pick it up perfectly the first time you learn it, but they can tell if you have potential. Is the main thing.
Yes. So obviously you all were taking Frozen out on the road for the first time. So you started rehearsal process from the ground up, even though it was on Broadway before. What was that like, and how was that special as opposing to like when people join a tour that's already been going?
I think the most special part of that is that everything was made for me. Like, it's my track. Like, I sometimes like will look at my costumes and look at like the embroiderment and like the stitching and my name, and I'll be like, my name is sewn into this costume because it's the first time someone's wearing it. So after I finish out with Frozen, whenever that is, long time from now, like somebody will wear my costume. And it's just like, it's just really fun. And I think too, like it was so special because it was a whole workshop. When we were rehearsing the show, everything was trial and error, and the best idea in the room won. Like, that's how it really worked. And everybody was just open to suggestions, to ideas, to movement. And, you know, like a lot of the choreography is kind of based on my skill level. Like if I did something, Sarah or Rob or Charlie would be like, wait, actually, I like you turning the other way. That looked really good what you just did because your back leans back, your back will extend back more that way. And I'm like, right, thank you. That's awesome. So I didn't have to like jump in and completely like Rockette style learn a track.
Yeah.
It was like all open and free. And I think that was so, so amazing and special to be a part of.
So you're not necessarily copying what they do on Broadway. You're kind of coming up with your own choreography based on like what you do as a dancer.
Right. And also our show is completely different from Broadway's.
Yeah.
They switched theirs halfway through their run because they liked what the tour was doing more, because we had more time to really dissect everything and the movements. And when Frozen was coming to Broadway, it was more fast paced. So things were not like taken care of as detailed and oriented as like the tour was. So yeah, it was very different.
Were you around because they added a whole song for the tour? They added I Can't Lose You, etc., and they took away the First Time in Forever reprise.
Yep.
For the tour. Were you around when they added that and they first rehearsed that?
I was around when they first did I Can't Lose You. We came into rehearsal knowing that was in the show. But nobody had heard it before, obviously. That was a really beautiful moment because we all were sitting there just listening, and like I think a lot of us were just like crying. We were getting so emotional because it was like, oh, this new song is in our new show. Like, this is so exciting, and I can't wait for like sisters to watch this like on stage. It's a beautiful sisterhood bonding like moment that they share together, and yeah, it was just beautiful.
And it just feels like a brand new show when you add a completely new song that has never been heard before.
I know. Bobby and Kristen Lopez are unbelievable. What they can put together, I mean, I truly learn from them every day. I really do. Like all that they put out into the world, and we are unworthy.
Did you get to work with them at all?
They came to our show, gave some notes, some feedback. They also came to rehearsal a couple times. So yeah, we got to work with them a little bit. And
ooh,
they're so nice and genuine.
That's so cool. So what was your first time on stage performing for a live audience on the Frozen tour like, and where was it?
First time we were in New Jersey, but oh my God, where were we? I'm already forgetting the town name. Do you remember?
Oh, I remember that I couldn't pronounce it.
I know. Wait. Oh no.
I was like, how do you pronounce that city's name? Like,
I've been there before
did it start
for
with an S?
movies. Schenectady? No.
There we go.
Was that it?
I think so.
Yes. Okay. Schenectady. Yes. Schenectady. Schenectady, New York. Yes. Okay. There it is. Yes. Our first time with an audience was our invited dress. And that was a cool moment. It was a little nuts because if you know the show, you know that all the ensemble members changed like 15 times during the show. 15 times. And what happens is you come up one side of the stage, you have to change and then figure out, oh my God, what side do I enter on? What side? Okay, stage left. Got it. Stage left, third wing. So that was kind of where my mind was at the first time we did in front of an audience. But let me tell you, I was enjoying every moment that I had on stage and off stage. It just was more focused than like enjoying what was happening.
Yeah, you were like, it's basically doing choreography backstage.
Right. Exactly.
Picking up like where you're supposed to be, what direction off stage am I going off stage?
Right.
How do you get back on stage? How many seconds do I have to change costumes?
Like I do this for every show I'm ever in, but I always have like a little notepad backstage and I write every single number that I'm in or every single scene that I'm in, what side I exit on and what side I need to enter on for the next thing. Ooh. Because that to me is like, okay, I came off for Fixer Upper. Okay, boom, gotta change into Hugo. Okay, change, and then I enter what side? Left, got it. Like that to me is like, yeah, how I remember.
I would have to like write stuff down on my hand and be like, people would be so mad at me.
I know.
You'd be like, no, you can't do that.
Trust me, I know. Oh my God.
So, and then the second tour stop was LA. Yeah. So you all had a big opening night in LA. What was that experience like, being on the carpet and like having, like getting to pose for pictures on the carpet, dressing up?
It was so much fun. Yes, I remember like I was like, is it opening night? Because it doesn't feel like it. And then I'm like, wait, it is opening night, Hannah. It is opening night. And then I saw the blue carpet. And then I saw cameras and I saw lights and I saw everybody bringing in their dresses and their suits. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening. And I actually love that we got to walk the blue carpet before the show, because I'm always like, after the show, I'm like, oh, I can breathe. And like, I'm just kind of, not a mess, but like sweaty, my makeup's dripping everywhere. Cause I'm a huge sweater. Like on stage, I'm sweating like buckets. And so I loved it. I could like get glam, walk the blue carpet, get ready for my show. It was amazing. And then our opening night party was something like unlike anything I've ever been to. It was, first of all, that huge ballroom was like gorgeous, like just head to toe, stunning. It was like state of the art. I was like, yes, Disney, you know how to run a party.
And Disney goes all out with decorations and stuff.
Yes, and the photo booth and the dancing, people holding hors d'oeuvres. Like, it was just so much fun. Oh, I miss it.
And I know a lot of really cool people brought their kids to Frozen on opening night. Did you meet anyone who you were like, oh my God, this person is here and right in front of me?
I didn't. The only like people, I don't know if it was probably like after opening night, but like Beyonce's kid came, Chrissy Teigen's kid came, John Legend. That was the only two kids that I saw. I'm thinking about who else came.
I know I saw Josh Gad exit the theater one night and I was like, oh.
Oh, right. Yeah, I took photos for him. Yeah. I was like, I am the social media captain for Disney and for the Pantages, and I need footage with you. So I'm going to need to steal you for this photo. And we got it, and it was a good photo. Yeah, it was so fun.
And I'm sure he loved seeing it on stage. Had he seen it on Broadway, I wonder?
I don't know. I feel like he must have seen it on Broadway.
Because I feel like just the in summer part in the show on tour was just a whole nother level than Broadway.
I know. Oh my God, it was so good.
The added Samantha part.
Yes. Oh my God, that the audience, they freak out. So funny.
Yes.
I love
it.
So,
what's the hardest choreography to master in Frozen?
I don't know if it's the choreography that's the hardest to master. I think it's your endurance. the stamina, and the weight of the costumes.
Okay, yeah.
The weight of the costumes are like 10 pounds. I don't know how the men lift us. Well, I do because they're all crazy talented and so strong. But I mean, the costumes are 10 pounds and we're doing huge legs and the men are lifting us in the air. And then for fixer upper, it's a lot of endurance, a lot of stamina. It's a long piece, like 7 minutes, and you're going the whole time and singing the entire time, right? Let's not forget about the singing. So I think that's pretty like the most tedious, hardest part of the show.
And obviously you have like experience with working on stamina, but how do you work on that? And when you're performing 8 times a week for an extended period of time?
Yeah, I think it's all about training, like preparation and training. So, like even when I'm in a show, I'm taking dance classes, I'm taking ballet. Like the training, being the student never ends. It never ends, and it should never end. Honestly, never. Because there's always work to be done, and you have to keep your body. It's your craft. This is your energy temple. This is your like craft. Yeah, like I said, this is your craft. And you have to make sure you're in alignment before every show. And so I have to take ballet. I have to take dance. Like even just like I'll take like a heels class. Anything that gets me into like training mode. I think it's really important. Also, we have a physical therapist on tour. She's amazing. Taylor is amazing. So she helps us a lot. But
yeah. And I feel like you can always, even if you're at the top of the game, you can always learn more. There's always more to learn. So what's your favorite scene that the ensemble is a part of in Frozen?
That's a hard one. Let me think about this for a second. My favorite scene.
There's so many good ones.
Oh, like I want to say my favorite scene is when I've actually turned upstage in the coronation ball, and Anna and Hans are really introduced for the first time. Like their characteristics, their personality and energy, the comedy in that scene is like, it makes me laugh. Like I try really hard not to shake during that scene because I like all of us do though. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, like all of us ensemble members in that scene are like kind of giggling a little bit, and we're trying so hard not to like move our shoulders.
I feel like that makes it even better though, because like y'all are like, sure, like it's a show, but like you all are playing real people, and it's like real people would find anything Anna says hilarious.
100%, exactly.
And like Anna's a special character.
Yeah, she's the best. She's so relatable too. I think that's why we all love her.
Yes, exactly. And the Annas on tour do a fantastic job. All of them do a fantastic job at playing.
I know.
So
yes, they really do.
Do you have a favorite ensemble costume?
Okay, I'm gonna give you my favorite ensemble costume and my favorite ensemble wig.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my favorite ensemble wig is the opening with the flower crowns.
Yes.
And my blonde hair. My favorite costume, I think I have to go with my chocolate brown coronation dress. There's a little metallic on it, so like it sparkles a little bit, but it's like this like deep, rich brown. I love it.
Do you ever feel like you're actually like in a castle setting because of like the scenery on stage?
100%, especially with the lights and the music. Oh my God, the sets. Yeah, of course. They really like transport you into Arendelle. I really do feel like I'm there.
They really do, especially like right from the beginning, right from that opening scene.
Oh my God, 100%. Yeah.
Has there been a moment, I'm sure there's been a moment, but when you've like cried on stage because like you were so emotional about the scene or something?
Are you kidding me? I cry all the time on stage. I'm always crying because the music, it's just so beautiful. It speaks to my soul. There's something so beautiful. Like this Frozen score is just so gorgeous. And yes, I cry all the time. Every time we run out of the gates in the first time forever, I'm easily like on the verge of crying, if not crying already.
Yeah, it's like chills. And you all get the audience applause. It's just like a whole moment all in one.
I know.
5 seconds.
Right, exactly.
So I'm curious because someone from Hadestown that I interviewed a while ago said that the ensemble characters in Hadestown all have names. Do your ensemble characters in Frozen have names?
Yes.
Oh, what are they?
Okay, well, so my Norwegian name is Tori. We all have different Norwegian names, but I chose, our director told us to pick a name. And I felt like my name is Tori in the beginning because she's very innocent and naive. And Tori, that name Tori, just like feels like a younger, like a younger character, a younger female name. So I chose Tori. And I'm trying to remember my name for the Hugo moment. And I cannot remember it right now. All I remember is Tori. So I got to get back to you on that one.
It's so, I feel like they should put that in the playbills. The names
I know. I know. I love it. Well, it's just like, it really, it makes us feel like real people because we're not just ensemble members.
Yeah.
You know? We are the citizens. We are the people of Arendelle. Like we make up the town. And so of course we would have a name. So I think it's just, whoever should be doing.
Whoever creates the playbills needs to start writing the names of each ensemble member.
I know.
Straight down. It'd be fantastic.
You're so right.
So what's something you've learned about touring with Frozen that you were surprised to learn that you didn't expect?
Yeah, lots of things. All good things, though, I can tell you that. I am so fortunate to be working with Disney Theatricals because they treat you really well, like really well. And the whole team on Frozen is just amazing. Something that I've learned, give me a second, let me think about this. I think that I realize how much the creative team on Frozen cares about us. I didn't know if that was going to be the case for this show because, you know, like this is a big team. They are like very known in the Broadway world. And I figure that they would be like going to Broadway, just constantly with Broadway and doing their own shows and just kind of visiting us like here and there. Yeah. But they came all the time. Like the creative team came all the time to really check on the show, to give notes, feedback, to ask if we needed anything from them, like to help us with movement so that it felt better in our bodies. Like I was just so like overwhelmed by the generosity of that creative team and just their time that they gave us, just endless time. And I think that's something I didn't know beforehand.
And obviously you all have had long stops thus far on the tour. And I don't know if there's tour stops coming up that have like shorter stops, but how have you figured out like how to work on health on the tour?
Sorry, I lost you for that one little section. What was the last thing you said?
How have you figured out how to work on like health and like keeping yourself healthy from day-to-day life on tour?
Right. I mean, it's really nice with like, especially in LA, like a 3-month sit down is amazing for us. Because we are able to figure out where the gym is at, where the dance classes are, where the paths to run are, where meditation is, and yoga classes, and juice places, and healthy grocery stores, right? But I have also been on a non-equity tour where we were in a city for a day. So I am really good at figuring out how to keep my body healthy and strong. Even in like places where you don't know where anything is. I'm able to like grocery shop before I get to that one city, make meals. We don't need to do that on the Frozen tour now because we're in places we wouldn't ever be in a place less than a week. So there's time to figure out the whole like city and where you need to go. But it's so important to keep your body healthy. I think water.
So when there's a shorter tour stop or like back-to-back shorter tour stops, people are going to come to you and be like, so how do I go about this? How do I make sure that I'm staying like healthy and that I'm staying well?
Totally, 100%. Yeah. Yep.
Come to Hannah for advice. Yes. So
I got you.
What are you looking forward to once tour resumes?
Everything. You know what I'm excited about? I am looking forward to coming back to Frozen with new people, new energy, new intentions. I feel like everybody has grown during this year, and especially myself, like I am not the same person I was when I left tour. I have evolved in the best ways, and I have grown and learned so much about myself and what I see for myself in my life and people and this industry. And I think we're just all going to come back so much stronger. And I'm excited to see, like, I guess I'm just really excited to see the new energy that we bring to the show as like different individuals.
Yeah, people are going to be in for a treat when they come to see the first night back on the tour.
Right, like it's the same show, but it's the people who are in the show are all going to be different. And so that completely will change the show in its own,
And the emotion is definitely going to come through, so it's going to be even that much more special.
The first show that we do, oh my God, it's going to be like makeup. Oh my God, we're all going to have to control ourselves because I can't sing when I'm crying, so I know that other people can as well.
Imagine everyone just like speaking and singing through tears.
Yeah, truly. And you know what? The audience is going to love that because they're also going to be emotional.
Yes.
It's the first time that they are also sitting in a theater again, experiencing my theater.
Speaking of the audience, why should people of all ages come to see the Frozen tour when it does resume?
It's the best show ever. No. It's such an amazing show. I love the message. I love that you can find somebody on that stage that resonates with you and that is relatable. And the story is just so beautiful of sisterhood, of community, of family, of just like being there for one another, whether or not you are the same, right? Everybody is different. We all go through different emotions. We all go through different things in life, and learning to accept everyone for who they truly are is just a wonderful message. And it really is for everyone. The kids love Frozen. They love it, love it, love it. They've seen it on the movies. They have dolls, stuffed animals. And so they feel that connection to Frozen, but the grown-ups will also be surprised that there's so many funny moments in the show that will only really connect back to that age group. A lot of times, like a lot of the messages or the comedy in the show is really going to be looked at from the older audience, not the younger audience. It really is for everyone, though. The message, it's just, you will walk away feeling full. Like your heart will be full. It is a beautiful story.
It's true. I can back that up completely. It's not only for kids, it's for people of all ages.
Of all ages, yeah, truly is.
And last question about Frozen, real quick. Who do you relate to more, Anna or Elsa?
Anna. Wait, actually, this is hard for me because I've been asked this before. I think I'm a mix of both because I am very like free, and I let myself be who I want to be, and I'm funny, and I'm kind, but I also am very grounded and centered, and I know what I know, and I know my vision, and I know who I am, and I protect others. And so I have that, like, I have those qualities that Elsa has, but I also have that free spirited energy and vibe that Anna has. So I think I'm a mix.
They kind of like make up one person. It's like in Frozen 2. They come together. They're like a bridge.
Yes, exactly. That's me.
I don't know if the bridge part makes sense, but I feel like
no. It does. Yeah.
So before I get into bringing you Broadway, I have to ask a few quick questions. What's your dream show to be on stage besides obviously Frozen right now?
Dream show. I want to play Catherine in Newsies because I want to be on stage with like 20 boys and just like fawning over their talents. And I love watching men perform. I love watching them dance, sing, and act. I think they are incredible, and I want to be on stage as the only girl. So that's good. I'm like, I want to do that, and I love tap dancing, and I love her character and all she stands for. So
who do I talk to make this happen?
It will at some point. It will. I've been wanting it to happen. It will.
Yes, I'm like imagining you as Catherine now, and I'm like, oh my God, that would be such a show. I need to be there for this.
I will let you know when it happens.
Yes.
I will give you the comp ticket to come and see me.
Well, my next question was, if you could revive any Broadway show, what would it be? And I'm assuming one would be Newsies.
Yeah. Newsies for sure. I'm thinking about what else. I love Disney musicals. I love Disney. I love Disney, but I also love non-Disney. So, but like for me, I probably want to bring back Little Mermaid and play Ariel.
Yeah. And I saw you were in a production of Little Mermaid.
Yeah. I played Aquata, one of her sisters. So it was so much fun. She was like the diva of the sisters. It was a fun role.
Next up, you're going to play Ariel in Little
Mermaid. Exactly.
Yes. So that's going to happen. Manifesting that too.
Yes, love it.
Yes. So who inspires you in the theater and dance world?
Oh my God. Who inspires me? A lot of people inspire me. I'm really always inspired by Laura Osnes. I think she's wonderful, and I love every role she's ever done. I want to do every role she's ever done. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, honestly, like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Like, those kind of people always inspire me. I'm so in awe of their passion and drive, especially when they're on stage. They're so captivating. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah. I feel like I'm in awe of a lot of people. A lot of my friends I'm in awe of. So that's a hard question. I think anybody who is in it for the right reasons, because their heart, they had a calling to theater, and they love what it does for their soul and for other people's soul and spirits. I feel like those are the people I'm always looking for and following their careers.
And I'm sure when you're in a show with people, it's like you're constantly inspired by the other people who are in the show with you.
Right, exactly.
Because they're working so hard and you're working so hard. So
yeah, exactly. 100%. So,
what's the funniest thing, before I get into bringing you Broadway, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
Oh my God. Okay. Funniest thing that's ever happened. So many. In Frozen or just in general?
In general.
I was in Beauty and the Beast, and we had, in Be Our Guest, we had these dresses that came up, little, they had like little different fabric. I'm trying to, like can dancers. So just imagining like a bunch of different fabrics underneath the skirt that we lift up. and my Laduca heel got stuck in one of them, and I face planted front and center so hard. And everybody else was kicking their face, and my friend, hopefully it's not freezing. My friend next to me, I'll never forget, her name's Abigail Gatlin. She was a former Rockette. And she literally used her arm as she's kicking to lift me off the ground and pull me back up. I'll never forget that moment.
Wow.
I'll never forget it.
What That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So I'm really excited to talk about Bringing You Broadway. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's so important during this time to bring people to theater during a time where you can't go to a live theater. Right. So how did you all come up with the company Bringing You Broadway and the idea to form it? And what is the mission of it?
Yeah. So, okay. Crazy how it all started. I was feeling like a part of me was missing during the pandemic, which is obviously true because a part of me is performing. Yeah. And I needed something to fill that void. Like I was fulfilling myself with meditation and serving others in that way. And so I was feeling good about that, but I was missing performing and the community. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get a bunch of my Broadway artists together in a room to collaborate, to workshop, to just create, put our minds together, create dances, read scripts together, perform in front of each other, or like audition cuts. I just wanted to be in that space again and just constantly training and perfecting our craft. And one of my friends, her name's Emma Daggerstedt, she came to me and saw that I posted on my Instagram about like, who wants to join me in this? Yeah. And she goes, wait, call me. And so she called me, or I called her, and she's like, I have a dream of like helping children with autism and special needs and like putting on a show in my bedroom for these kids, like giving them like a prom almost where we're all just dancing. And I'm like, what if we put our two ideas together? And she's like, that's a brilliant idea. What if we do this? And I'm like, what if we do that? And she's like, what if we do this and that and that? And so we just started spiraling and came up with this idea to form a company that brings Broadway artists together to perform virtually for kids with special needs and autism. And that's kind of how it went about. And we were so blown away with the generosity from everyone. I mean, there were so many people who wanted to help us be a part of it without any compensation. Like, obviously, we're not getting paid right now. We're doing it out of love. And selfishly, it's feeding my soul and giving me purpose during these unprecedented times. So I am finding that it has served me in the best ways. And also my mission in life is to serve others. And so I'm serving these children's lives and really giving them something I'm giving these kids a show that lifts their spirits and takes them out of their materialistic life. And it's been amazing so far. I mean, we have soared. Our company is doing incredible, and there's really just like no end right now. We just want to keep doing this until it doesn't feel right. And our mission is to really just enrich these children's lives with theater who might not have the means to see theater prior to COVID, post-COVID. So we're giving them a space to feel free in themselves, just to really like feel like they belong somewhere, that they're able to see a show, because normally they can't see shows in theater.
Yeah, because I mean, especially with kids with autism, I know this happened a couple of times with the young kids at Frozen, like the sound, they have like the sensory issue. Right. The sound scares them, the effects on stage scare them. 100%. So like you have to adapt for those kids, and it's hard to adapt a big show for a couple kids. So I know there's like autism friendly performances, sensory friendly performances, but they happen like once in 50 performances normally. So.
And you know what's so amazing about bringing You Broadway, I'm going to toot my own horn, is that we make these shows as interactive as possible, and we talk to the organization before we do these shows for them and ask them, what kind of kids will watch this outreach performance. Are they in wheelchairs? Do they wear headphones? Are they deaf? Whatever it might be, we get a range of kids to watch our show, and we want to make sure that everybody feels included and invited, and that they can participate with whatever means they're in. And so when I construct this warm-up, I really curate a warm-up based on their levels. So we'll have different options. If someone's in a wheelchair, I'll have Damon or I'll have Emma dance this warm up as if they're sitting down, right? So we'll show them some ways that they can do it if they can't use their legs. So I think that's one of the most beautiful things, is that it's really for anyone and everyone.
And you're giving kids with special needs, you're giving them the ability to keep on dreaming and to be like, oh, well, maybe it is possible for me to be on a Broadway stage in the future. Maybe I can learn how to be on a Broadway stage.
Exactly. I know. And
I'm sure lots of kids have built their confidence with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been remarkable. It's so terrific. Yeah.
And there's a donate tab on the website, correct?
Yeah, bringingyouBroadway.org. Yep.
So I'll put the link to donate in the description of this.
And we have our benefit concert streaming April 2nd for 4 days. So feel free to check it out. Buy tickets. You can head to bringingyouBroadway.org. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. There's so many places to find us, and your donation helps bring more Broadway to children. So when you donate, you're helping us pay for the space. You're helping us pay to put on a live show. I mean, it's more than just putting it on in your bedroom. We need sound designers. We need mics. We need music, sheet music, tracks, camera, speakers, right? There's so many elements that take place. So your donations help bring the company to life. So, and
it's an impressive lineup. There's a lot of people performing. So if you love Broadway, don't want to miss the virtual.
You really don't. And there's more people coming too. We're adding a bunch more people. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, that's so exciting. Do you have a favorite memory thus far working with Bringing You Broadway?
Favorite memory is after our first performance, just being with the cast as they said, okay, that was it, everybody. Thanks so much for coming to our show. And the camera stopped and we all just looked at each other and we were just taken back and so overwhelmed with joy that we just got to perform again in a pandemic safely. And it was one of the coolest experiences for Emma and I, that we were the people who made it happen. And we had a dream, we had a vision. And there were a lot of people that said, well, don't, but, blah, 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 right? And that's what happens in life. But we saw the outcome. And because we went with our hearts with this one, it turned out exactly the way we wanted it to go. And we made it happen. And it's just amazing. Yeah.
And what a special thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Why do you think it's important, why do you think it's important that people in theater keep trying to come up with ways to bring Broadway to different children, to people with special needs, to kids with special needs?
Because live theater and Broadway is so good for the soul. Laughing is so good for the soul. Smiling, dancing in your seat. It brings so much joy to your life, and you're really taken out of your everyday routine. to sit into a theater, to sit into a Zoom space and just watch people like pour their hearts out onto the stage, and you feel connected to it. Every time I see a Broadway show, I feel connected to the people on that stage. And I find myself on that stage. And it's like, oh, wait, I see myself in that character. I see myself in her. And it's so cool because like, I'm not in like the grocery store right now. I'm not doing a billion things and constantly on the phone. I'm like shoot away and I'm into this one theater sitting here, and only thing that I'm worried about is like not missing something on the stage, you know? Yes. And I want kids to experience that because theater is just, it's the best thing in the world. It really is. And I know people are missing it tremendously right now. And when we do come back, like the city will really like come back home and feel this like fullness in the air and feel alive again. It's theater really is so amazing. It just is. It's incredible.
It's the best. There's nothing like it. So you mentioned that you had 2 companies. Is there anything else you've been working on in quarantine, whether it's singing related or not, that you'd want to promote?
Yeah, I mean, I created my own meditation and manifestation business.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I am in love with meditation. I'm in love with mindfulness, manifestation, all the above. I love talking about energy, and I love having people hone into their truth, and finding their purpose again is something that really fulfills me in just this incredible way. And yeah, it's a 4-week program. It's 3 times a week, each an hour. I come in, I give you a little bit of a lecture on energy and how manifestation works and how we can really channel that through our practice. I guide you through a meditation, and then we have a lot of things that we work on. We have accountability partners. We work on breaking the boundary zones so that we have goals set in mind for the week that we achieve together. Because when you achieve those goals, you align with your vision and you're able to manifest. We strip and cleanse toxicity from the body so that we can really like be clear and pure to what we desire in life. And there's a lot more to that. So message me if you're interested. We start every month. So the next session begins April.
Ooh. Yeah. So, and you're also doing teaching for vocal lessons on like Broadway Plus and stuff?
Yeah, Broadway Plus. I have some students that I work with on the side. But yeah, Broadway Plus, Broadway Connection, Stage Door. But yeah, reach out to me or reach out on Broadway Plus if you want to schedule a dance workshop or a dance lesson, vocal lesson, whatever. Please reach out.
And I'll put links again in the description. Yeah. So where can people follow you on social media for more of your wisdom and for everything else you can come up with?
Okay, well, first you can follow Jewel Focus, Jewel Focus. That's my meditation company. Second, you can follow at Bringing You Broadway for my nonprofit company. And then to follow just me, you can follow at Hannah with an H at the end, my middle name Jewel, and my last name Kohn. So at Hannah Jewel Kohn.
So follow all 3 people.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
You are the best.
Thank you so much for joining me on this. I was so excited to have you on. I love the Bringing You Broadway idea.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Genius. And I'm so glad it's going well. And I can't wait to see what you all put together for the April virtual performance.
Thank you. This was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching this episode of Backstage with Becca B. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV. Or for more exclusive content from this interview and more, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Backstage with Becca B. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video, or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give me a 5-star rating. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!